Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of The Lifted Lens, the podcast. I am Sophie. I am a photographer and mother. I mostly photograph babies and families, so I'm a motherhood photographer. And I've decided to start this podcast because I've had a lot of conversations with other photographers and mums and female photographers in the industry, and I thought it would be a really lovely place for us to chat about not only building a business, but building a business that actually aligns with your life and will help you to create the balance that you need, not just about the kind of hustling hard type of photography, masculine mentality that I found is, well, mostly in the wedding industry, but also I feel like there's just this expectation to be push. And I've kind of found a way that works for me, and I feel there's other photographers out there who are either already running their business like this or would like to run their business like this. And so this is a place for us to chat about motherhood photography, finding that balance so that you can actually build a really strong, profitable business, but actually still, being able to be on the school runs, go to the events, be able to have some time for yourself and not feel like you are just burning out. And just, a bit of an anti-hustle podcast. So, that's the kind of mentality behind me starting this, and we'll see where it goes. This is the first ever episode. I have been a guest on one podcast once. So this is all completely new for me. And really excited to get started and see where it goes. So I'm going to do a little bit of intro, just a little bit about me and how I started, and just let you know what's kind of going to be coming up in the future episodes and what this podcast is all about, just so you can find out whether this is for you, whether you're in the right place, and just to give you a little bit of insight into what to expect. So, as I said, I am Sophie. I have been a self-employed photographer since 2012, so for 14 years now. Started in wedding photography for around 7 or so years, full-time wedding photography. That's kind of where I started, and slowly transitioned when I had my first son, who is now 8 years old, into the newborn and family side of photography. When I had my first son, I was doing wedding photography full time, and I had to actually kind of plan having him around the wedding season. I did full pregnancy that he was actually due in October, so that actually worked out really well for me, very luckily. I'm not sure how I would have survived if he was due in sort of July or August. So when I first had him, it became clear to me quite quickly that shooting weddings and being away from my baby for sort of 10, 12 hours at a time and working every weekend, such long hours, the amount of editing, it wasn't really going to work for me as a mum. My first wedding back when he was a baby was when he was only 8 weeks old, and I had to leave him for around 10 hours. He wasn't very happy taking a bottle, so that was really, really stressful in the weeks leading up to doing this wedding. It was a New Year's Day wedding. New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? It was New Year's Day, I believe. It's a long time ago. And we couldn't cancel it because we needed the money. It was January, obviously, and I needed this money for this wedding, really, to kind of get through the the January and February months. So in my head, when I was pregnant, I thought, it'll be fine. He'll be 8 weeks old. It'll be fine, naively. And it was really, really hard. So, like I said, the weeks leading up to the wedding, trying to get him to take a bottle was really hard. And to leave him for that amount of time, I had to express in the middle of the wedding day. I had to go to the toilets and pump. And I had other mums saying to me, oh my gosh, like, why aren't you with your baby? Sort of guests at the wedding. And yeah, so that wedding was a real catalyst for me that things needed to change. And yeah, so I started moving into the newborn and family photography kind of genres. I had always shot a few family sessions here and there alongside my weddings, where couples had requested that or people had asked for it, but it wasn't something I had overly pushed. So I began my kind of, transition into that. I did a lot of newborn photography training. I built a little mini studio in my home upstairs in our spare room and moved into that. That was kind of so that's my origin story. So I've been shooting families and newborns now for, oh my gosh, so since 2017 when my son was born. And I still do a few weddings a year, just literally a handful, maybe 2, 3 or 4 weddings a year from people that have recommended me, which is always lovely. But I don't advertise or really push weddings. My main business is in-home newborn photography and outdoor family sessions. So I did mention that I had an in-home studio for a little while, but when we moved house, we didn't have the space of that after I had my second son, and I decided that the studio photography wasn't really for me. So I moved into doing in-home newborn sessions and outdoor family sessions. And I also run a selective amount of mini sessions throughout the year as well, at different seasons. So so that's me. And it works really well for me. When I transitioned from weddings into families, I was sceptical as to whether I could make the same amount of profit and run a successful business not doing the weddings, because obviously we all know wedding photography is a much higher profit. And I didn't kind of have the belief in me that I could make the same money with shooting newborns and families, but obviously that is, not true at all. And I am now sort of proof that, and lots of other photographers are proof that it can work. And yes, you can build a very successful business shooting newborns and families without the hustle and not having to work every weekend for 10, 12 hours doing weddings throughout the summer, missing out on family time. It is possible. So, that's my backstory. And the reason I wanted to start this podcast is for somewhere we can all talk about the ups and downs of running a motherhood photography business, and also how working on your mindset and building your confidence and using maybe a little bit of woo can actually really help you in your business, and has really helped me. So using things like manifesting, journaling, working on my money mindset are all things that in the past few years have really, really helped me and been really beneficial in my life and in my business. And that's the themes that we're going to be talking about. And I'm hoping to have some guests that can help us and give us some advice and insight into how these kind of themes can help us in our business. And just be a nice little place for you to go to have a little listen when you're on the school run or on your way to a shoot or sat editing. That's my hope. And I just share my insights, share my knowledge, and a little corner of the internet where we can chat all things photography, mum life, being a woman as well, and the way that we can build a business with that kind of soft feminine touch, but actually still build a really successful business as well. And how doing things softly and gently doesn't necessarily mean that you won't be successful, because that's certainly not the case. And how you can build a business that works around your life. As well as a photographer, I am a photography mentor as well, and an oversharer. I am a complete open book, so I love to mentor other photographers and just share my experiences, my past failures, and just to kind of help others to hopefully skip some of those steps that I've made along the way, to help them to sort of grow faster, really. And because that's the best way to learn is from others who've already walked the path. So this podcast will also be a place for me to share my insights, probably share snippets from my life as a mother and as a woman, and as overshare as well, most likely. So that's my little intro to the podcast. Thank you so much for being here. And welcome to The Lifted Lens, where strategy meets soul, helping motherhood and family photographers build a business that fits their life, not the other way around. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.